Rina Shah is a Conservative commentator at Relax Strategies, a political consulting firm. Joins me now from Reston in Virginia. Good to have you with us on the programme again, Ms Shah. Let's just start with the President. I mean, of course, he does not have any power to change the legislation. Congress has to do that in the long term. Is this yet another fight that's going to consume him?
Well, this is really multi-layered. And so, Hale, I'd be remiss if I didn't start with saying that, over 100,000 of my fellow Americans are now dead due to the coronavirus, and about 40 million are out of work. And the president is choosing to now wave the flag of his First Amendment right. It just feels rather odd to be sitting in this moment. Of course, conservatives like me, we've been holding our breath ever since he threatened big action against Twitter the other day. And look, the reality is what we were waiting for was, is there a there when it comes to this executive order he wanted to issue? So today we learned that in this executive order, he's essentially trying to say that I have First Amendment rights. And as president, the authority vested in me as president, I can say to these companies, stop censoring people like me, the average American. So in a way, this is a really confusing battle, but it's got so many layers. And one thing is really, really apparent here is that this executive order cannot override something called Section 230, which is of our Communications Decency Act. And that goes back to 1996. This was landmark legislation regarding the internet. And this executive order that the president has issued cannot override it. It's really, really big that the American people and internationally people recognize that.
Indeed, you preempted me from the question I was going to ask about how much of a distraction this is, considering we have, so many COVID-19 deaths now in the US, a massive unemployment numbers because of that. And obviously now we're seeing a situation unfold in Minnesota with a huge race relations potential problem for the president as well.
Well, it's been being said in many circles that racism is a virus as well that is pervading my country. And it's truly a sad day when yet another name of another Black individual is etched into the minds of Americans like me. How can we forget the atrocities that are being committed? The phrase civil liberties rings true, whether you're talking about Twitter and the president or this police violence against people of a certain race and ethnic group. It is a moment where I think we have to step back and think about what our civil liberties really mean to us, about the interference of our state in private corporations, in the lives of people like me and my neighbors. This is a moment where we Americans are feeling the cathartic effect, genuinely, of how we move about and function, speak, act, talk, walk, in our daily society. So I think we're at truly a fork in the road about how we move forward as a country. I'm disappointed in the president's leadership. I'm disappointed in Congress, which has had an abysmal approval rating for years on end. It feels like nobody is standing up for the American way, and it's probably going to be up to the people, given the rioting we're seeing in Minneapolis today and that has continued for the past couple of days. I think it's going to be back in the hands of the people to sort of reclaim the narrative of what our civil liberties mean to us.
Rina, just briefly, let me just get in there as well, is that obviously, this is a whole scenario about the president and how the media treats him and how he wants to deal with the media itself. Does this all feed in now to the timeline as we head towards sort of the presidential election? This will be another major topic that he's going to sort of try and talk to his base about, that the media, everybody's out to get me, and the swamp is still not drained.
Well, along with the everybody's out to get me, he's saying to his base of voters, which has been shrinking in the past couple of years especially, he's saying they're out to get you by making you wear a mask into a private establishment. That's infringing upon your rights. He's gaslighting the American public, essentially saying, spreading falsities. And I actually agree with Twitter. They've put out a brilliant statement, their public policy team, talking about what it means when a state tries to interfere and tell us what what's good and bad for us. So it's actually quite rich that the president is using certain language that signals to his base, it's virtue signaling, frankly, to his base that they are being mistreated by certain individuals, certain companies, and that they better seek refuge with him. It's truly disturbing, Sohail.
Well, we shall see what does happen. For the moment, Rina Shah, always good to get your insight. Thanks for joining us from the US.
Thank you.